What's up guys, Blade Master here. Welcome to some Total War Rome 2 online action in the Blade Balance mod. It's been a long time since I showcased any Blade Balance in Total War Rome 2. So I decided to switch it up a little bit from the usual Total War Warhammer and as of late Charlemagne action that I've been posting to bring you a game that I played on the 28th of April. So quite a while ago. Thankfully, there's been no real changes made to the Blade Balance mod since then, since I played this match. So it shouldn't be desynced, and if I recall correctly, it was a very nice match. I've taken the Iceni. I was about to say the Britons. That's how out of touch I am with Total War Rome 2. Shame on me. So I've taken the Iceni and I'm fighting against Alex Pander from the AVA clan who's taken the Nervii. So, matchup between two relatively weaker barbarian factions, both of whom have some very cool units nonetheless. For the Nervii, let's take a look at what Alex Pander has brought. I want to go to the... There we go. Looks like he's brought only 3 Celtic slingers, 4 Celtic warriors in front of what looks like 3 fierce swords, if you can take a closer look here. One fierce sword there, another fierce sword there, and finally another one there. And he's gone very oath stone heavy, which is pretty traditional from the, from Nervii's side. It looks like he's gone with 3 oath swords, including an oath sword general, who's of course a strategist. 3 total mighty horse, it looks like, in the center, and 2 Germanic scout riders in front of, or behind, 2 levy freemen on the sides. On my end, I've brought a pretty weird Iceni build. Again, I was about to say Britain build. 4 Britain Scout Riders in the front, in front of 4 Britain Slingers. The third line is composed of 4 Veteran Riders, and I have 1 Chosen Spearband and 2 Chosen Swordband. My general is a Heroic Rider unit, and I've got another Heroic Rider on the right flank. They're behind 2 Spearband, and finally I've got a Chariot unit. So the Britain Scout Riders, if you guys don't remember, are now light missile cavalry, and they are very specialized in taking down enemy cavalry because they have an anti-large spear, so they are better at taking out enemy cavalry than your average javelin cavalry, especially one that's so cheap. But the problem that I have with this build is that it is composed of a lot of really glass cannony fragile units. My veteran riders are nothing to write home about. They're pretty crappy mid-tier cavalry. Would certainly get bested by the mighty horse of the Nervii. But hopefully with my Britain slingers and with the fact that they have quick reload, I should be able to drop in quite a bit of damage before I have to pull them out. Now it looks like it's going to be an all-out cavalry charge from both sides. I'm going to charge in with my Britain veteran riders, charge into a mixture of mighty horse and what looks like Celtic warriors, which should deal quite a bit of damage on the at the start of the game. Going to pour in with my chariots as well. They've already gotten 7 kills and they're going to plow straight through the very fragile fierce swords. So I'm not letting the fierce swords get a proper charge in, which is very crucial for them to do well. And B, it's also going to make sure that my, they won't be able to pop Frenzy, and my Britain Chariot will also get a lot of kills right at the start of the game. Now I'm going to pull away all 3 of my veteran, or 3 out of the 4 of my veteran riders, and then going to pour in with my Chosen Swordband. So that should even the odds significantly in my favor. Actually, it should tilt the odds in my favor a lot, because I just cleaved through all of his slingers and a lot of his Celtic warriors. The Celtic warriors are a great unit, but they're very fragile, just like the fierce sword. So charging in like that, especially with my chariot, was something that worked out very well for me. Now I'm going to charge in on the right flank, on the left flank with my heroic rider against the fierce swords. I guess it's a similar thing here. I'm going to charge into his levy freeman with my heroic rider there. In the center, I'm going to have to pull away all of my slingers, as well as keep my my veteran riders intact. Now I'm going to pull away my heroic rider on the side, as you can see there, my general, while I try and pour in some fire against his mighty horse with my Britain scout riders and try and use their excellent capabilities against cavalry in the late game. Now I'm going to charge in with the veteran rider against the last, basically, of his Celtic warrior. Meanwhile, my Chosen Swordband has gotten 1 experience chevron, but has not been able to do much. My chariots have gotten a triple experience chevron, but they're down to 2/3 strength. My Heroic Rider General as well is in a pretty precarious position, 47 men left out of 60. But this Heroic Rider is basically full strength along with the Spear Band. It's cleaved off my right flank in my favor. Now the Chosen Sword Band is going to get rear charged by an Oath Sword, but meanwhile my Chariots are just going to destroy his General. They're kind of braced, but they're braced in a very weird way. A lot of them are just, scattered all over the place. My Briton Chariot now is going to go in for what looks like its final charge, get 314 kills, and then run away. So the Briton Chariot will definitely work with a build with as much maneuverability and as many cab as this. And especially against, more importantly, against a faction that is as fragile as the Nervii, because the Celtic warriors are very low morale, the fierce swords are high morale, but they are very low armor, so they will easily get destroyed by chariots. Now I'm going to try and pull away my Briton Slingers. It looks like definitely one of his mighty horse are going to get into them. I'm going to have to save all of them until late game if I want to win this game. My Heroic Rider, meanwhile, is still at full strength, and it can charge in and destroy these fierce swords, especially after pulling away once my Spear Band is engaged that. My Briton Scout Rider is now going to showcase their melee capabilities against the mighty horse. Let's try and take a look at how good they do. They probably should be able to win out against this mighty horse pretty easily, considering the mighty horse is already damaged. Now my General hit some more of the mighty horse. More importantly, my Briton Slinger is has not routed. My Briton Scout Rider on that side has been chasing away the Mercenary Germanic Scout Rider, and again its anti-large melee capabilities are going to play in its favor there, and it's got a lot of kills on the Germanic Scout Rider. 331 kills on my Chariot, and it's finally done. Now I'm desperately pulling away the rest of my units and trying to create some space between myself and the Nervii, and more importantly killing off the mighty horse, which means that almost all of his cavalry is done. This one Germanic Scout Rider still remains, which is a huge problem, and the other one, which is at full strength, is an even bigger problem. But thankfully I have more than enough cavalry to deal with that. I have 2 Heroic Riders and 3 Germanic Scout Riders and 1 Veteran Rider that's at 40 men, trying to kill off the last of his Celtic Slingers, but his Oath Zone is going to make short work of that cavalry unit. Meanwhile, now my Briton Slingers are going to destroy these Oath Zone with all of their ammo. Like, they probably have a shit ton of ammo. They probably only lost like maybe 1 or 2 volleys so far. So again, desperately trying to protect them. This is where the real fun of Rome 2 comes in. Desperately trying to protect your slingers, who can be incredibly potent in the late game, but there is a huge challenge in trying to protect them until the late game, as Achilles will very likely tell you, because he is just he loves playing with these builds. My General going to cleave through the Germanic Scout Riders, easily destroy the Celtic Slingers. I don't know why skirmish mode wasn't popped on them, but I'm just going to pull through the Slingers and then hit the other Germanic Scout Riders. So this is like Christmas come early for me, getting rid of 2 Germanic Scout Riders, or at least severely depleting them in the meanwhile. One more of my Briton Scout Riders is charging into the Oath Sword, trying to drop down their HP a little bit. Meanwhile, my my Briton Slingers destroying the Germanic Scout Riders. I still have that Briton Scout Rider there, which I have completely lost track of. My General at 40 men is trying to take quite a bit of damage from this pesky Celtic Slinger, and I need to take care of that unit, because it's very easy to underestimate cheap Slingers, but in late game they can deal a lot of damage against any unit. Now it's all about running away with all of my Slingers. 2 Slingers firing into the back of this Oath Sword while it chases off 2 more of my other Slingers. The Fierce Sword should die in a couple of seconds to my Briton Slinger volleys. 45 armor is pretty piss poor for a mid-tier barbarian unit. Nothing compared to the 80 armor of the Oath Sword. So now I'm going to split my Slingers into like 4 basically. Before I was keeping them in contingents of 2, and now I decide that's no longer the case. There's no need to keep them that way. Going to charge in with my Briton Scout Riders, kill off that last Germanic Scout Rider, very pesky unit. That's finally done. So all of his maneuverability is gone. Now it just matters if I can micro my Briton Slingers correctly and move them away from these pesky units, from chasing them into the corner of the map and then cornering them that way. He's going to pop Shield Wall on his Fierce Swords, making them nice and compact for my Briton Slingers to have a nice target to just pour into, and they get completely slaughtered by by Briton Slingers from one side. Briton Scout Rider, threatening them, moving like wolves ready for the kill. Heroic Riders mowed down some of the fierce swords and going to pull through, but again they'll take a lot of damage there because the fierce sword with their high amount of melee attack will kill off a lot of already damaged heroic riders. My Britain Scout Rider, meanwhile, hitting some of the Celtic warriors. Now it's army lost this time, and the fact that I believe his general is actually still there, but I have full strength, I have full ammunition on all 4 of my slingers. Some of the slingers here getting caught by the Oathsworn, but it's too little that the Oathsworn can do. I have 3 slingers with around 20 ammunition left at this point, so there's really not much that Nervii can do. Trying to utilize the strengths of Britain and of Iceni against the weakness of Nervii, namely the slingers. And to protect the slingers, I had to bring a lot of cavalry, and to its credit, bringing the chariot was an absolute godsend because it just killed off like 4 Celtic warriors by itself. Wavering, army losses, still 2 minutes and 38 seconds left in this battle somehow. They were wavering, but I guess, some of the units, most of the fierce swords go away, but I guess it's this one Oathsworn that's being, complete stubborn ass that's going to keep chasing away my Britain Scout or my Britain Slingers. Actually, this opens up the opportunity to use to get some nice close-ups in. Almost looks like they're still walking in fast forward speed, in double speed. No, that's not the case. So I'm just going to put in a decent amount of space between myself and then completely pour in fire from all sides. Britain Slinger's like, you can't catch us. They're going to pour in fire into the shielded side of the Oathsworn, but that's not the side that matters. What matters are those blue dots on the far side that's just going to destroy these Oathsworn with their armor-penetrating lead shots into the back, the unshielded side of the Oathsworn. And they will have no chance. So moving my slingers in all directions, getting getting the best angles possible. Clearly not the case for my camera, not getting the best angles at all. And I forgot to turn on a lot of my graphical mods, which I usually use. That's again down to me not casting a Rome 2 replay in quite a long time. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, this Oathsworn, there's not much that it can do, and it's just dancing its way to its death, basically. As the Britain Scout Rider, heroically watches on. Costly victory for me, but a very fun game to play. Playing with this sort of Bretonnian skirmish build, or not Bretonnian, goddamn, this Iceni skirmish build is super fun. You can see my Britain Slingers actually didn't get many kills at the end of the day, but they had all of their ammo left and they were basically all full strength. So there was nothing that, the Fierce Swords clearly saw the large pouches of of stones that the Britain Slingers had, and they got too scared and ran away. And that left only a couple of Oathsworn on the battlefield, and you saw what happened. The Britain Chariot was instrumental in me winning this battle, and while the chariots can be destroyed in a couple of seconds by a couple of volleys, charging in with the veteran riders initially robbed the fierce swords of their javelins, so that meant my Britain Chariot could just run in unimpeded and not get javelin to death, basically. So yeah, fun game. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and let me know if you want to see more blade balance battles. If you guys have any replays that you'd want me to cast in Rome 2 or Attila or something like that, feel free to send it to me. My email would be in the description, and there are plenty of videos that you can see on YouTube on how to find replays or the replay files. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more. Peace.